I'm doing YouTube. I'm Apache Chief. Alright, this is going to be my attempt at basically doing some self-role-playing 1 hour after what I believe the questions that should have been asked, or at least what the crew would ask of the surviving members of the Last Jedi horror story of Star Wars. So, but since this is going to be also kind of a self-actualized roleplay, I wanted to basically read the aspect of the Force from the game, and it's very, very short. So, and this video should not be no more than 11 minutes long. So, here we are. We're going to read that, chapter 6 of this role-playing game, the aspect of the Force. And it begins with the background of the Force. This should sound very familiar to you. The Force is what gives a Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us, it penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together. Obi-Wan Kenobi. You should definitely know that, right? Your original, trilogy fan. The Force is everywhere. It's in all things. Some learn its nature and gain mystery of life, thought, and matter. Most do not. But even those who do not know the Force, those who are skeptical of its existence, still possess it. Some dismiss the Force's workings as mere luck. Others recognize it for what it is. Now, they have this thing called like Force points and your Force powers. Now, basically, the game has a very, very simple breakdown of what's being heroic and what's being unheroic. We will read the unheroic aspect of it first, okay? All right. When a character uses a Force point, i.e. Force powers, to do something which is not particularly heroic, but not actually wrong, he loses the Force point he spends permanently, which is something which particularly is not heroic. What are the things? Avoiding danger, saving your own butt, gaining money or goods. All right, so just don't be greedy using the Force. All right, that gives you dark side points, or you lose your Force point. All right, being heroic. When a character uses a Force point, i.e. Force powers, in a heroic fashion, when he gets the point back at the end of the adventure, what's heroic? Exposing yourself to great danger, sacrificing to help others, taking big risks to help the Alliance, or fight the Empire. Alright, so very black and white, what's good and bad. Being selfless, which a lot of people don't know how to do in this current age and society. They don't know selflessness, and Disney cannot write selflessness. Alright, so basically that's the aspect of the Force. This was the background that you had to use when you were writing EU books. This was the guideline. Some writers began to eventually throw this out. Big mistake. But again, this was sanctioned by Luke. It was printed in 1987. It's not that long ago. Alright, now I'm going to read my script of what possibly happened, or what should have happened, the questions that should have been asked after The Last Jedi, 1 hour into The Last Jedi, after they escaped Crate. Star Wars, Episode, A Night of Revelation. On the Millennium Falcon, 1 hour into hyperspace, Poe walks up to the emergency hyperspace braking system in the common area near the auxiliary nav computer terminal and slams the braking unit and opens with, every time I will basically portray a character, I will tap myself and say that character's name, and that character, I want you to assume, is being played and talking. Poe, what the frack did we just go through? The surviving Resistance member gather, appearing to want answers as well. Yo, what's up with Poe, man? I don't know, but he's pissed. And it's just like, yo, man, I'm hurting. You know what I'm saying? Hungry? Yo, get that pole right there. Get that pole. Poe, how can my reality go through such a shift? Looking at his crew. Chewbacca and Rey are in the cockpit control room of the Falcon, exchanges surprising glances, and Chewie roars, throwing up his arms, and he and Rey hear Poe's outburst, as well as the Falcon's alarm screaming from the emergency braking system firing off, watching model sky turn into star lanes turn into stars, and the Falcon coasts through the blackness of space, 'cause we seen physics be broken. Ray, what do you think you're doing? Poe. Lady, I don't know you. Leia. Walking up with a cane. Poe, what's wrong? He goes, Ray, I was flying this ship. He goes, Leia, this is not your ship. C-3PO. This is Captain Chewbacca's ship. Chewie roars in agreement. Finn. Jedis can't have attachment or possessions, sitting down with his feet up on the space chess table with the Jedi books in hand. Ray, I didn't know that. Poe. No kidding, lady. He goes, looking past Ray and back to Leia. He goes, Poe. So where are we going? We have injured people, a limited food supply, limited fuel cells. And you and Admiral Holdo were laughing as our people were dying. He goes, the people told me. He goes, and what was that holographic being that fought your son? He goes, C-3PO. That was Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. He goes, Poe, Leia, how do you survive explosive decompression, the vacuum of space, freezing conditions, freezing temperatures? Flying at sublight speeds. You were flying. Why were you flying? Finn. There's no emotion. There's only peace. Yo. Leia. I don't know how, Poe. Something came over me. Literally. Ray, it must be the Force. Poe, shh. The military are people talking about military matters. You are a military matter. Finn, yo, there's no ignorance. There's only knowledge. Finn silenced the room. Chewie coming around to Poe's assessment, checking inventory systems, and pushing Ray aside. R2-D2 chirps something. 3PO. R2 says the Jedi have manifested abilities that are unique to certain species and cultures and certain situations. Master Luke manifested telekinesis after being captured by a Hoth Wampa. Ray, what's telekinesis? Leia smiles and takes her hand. Child. Poe frustrated. Okay, Your Highness, because that is your medical status, I will be the general and you will be the religious advisor, unless you know where we're going. Where are we going? Poe looks to Ray and Leia. Where are we going? The crew around them, the survivors, kind of like, what's the plan? They don't want to go through this again. Poe, once again, speaking to Leia. Leia, no one will come to help us. The universe, the paradigm has shifted. And a Mon Calamari cruiser with depleted fuel cells sounds more like sabotage to me. Yes. I never heard of 3 capital ships running out of fuel cells. Ray and Leia cannot question his logic. Chewbacca roars in anger. Poe, BB-8, R2, plug into the Falcon, find what are the nearest worlds with limited First Order, Imperial, Rebel, and Resistance presence, but where we can find food and fuel and aliens, not humans, that might help us. The droids plug in. R2 plugs in, and BB-8 projects an image of Felucia, Dantooine, and Endor. Finn. There is no passion. There's only serenity. Almost in a hypnotic state. And there we have it. That's how I think that maybe some of the questions should have been asked 1 hour after the horror of The Last Jedi. You know, a competent crew. Somebody that I think Oscar Isaac's character, Poe's character, would ask being the brash pilot template of this game. But as you are the player characters, you also kind of decide the fate of where this script is basically going to go. So you tell me, Felucia, Endor, Dantooine. Alright? Let me know. Leave your comments in the description below. May the force be with you. Peace.